Have you ever woken up with tears streaming down your face after dreaming of someone you've lost? That moment when you open your eyes and for a split second, they still feel so close, as if you could reach out and touch them. The room around you still carries their presence, their scent, the echo of their voice from your dream. These moments leave us shaken, wondering if something beyond our understanding has just occurred. Was this simply a creation of your grieving mind, or was their soul truly reaching out to you from beyond? Today, I'm going to share with you something profound, something that has brought comfort to countless people who have experienced these mysterious dream encounters. It's a revelation based on the teachings of Padre Pio, a saint known for his extraordinary spiritual gifts and his deep understanding of the connection between our world and the next. These aren't just ordinary dreams. They're something far more significant, a bridge between worlds. And understanding their true meaning could change forever how you view your connection with those you've lost. As you watch this video, you may recognize experiences you've had, moments that left you wondering, questioning, hoping. By the end, you'll understand that these precious encounters were far more real than you might have imagined. If you've ever dreamed of a loved one who has passed away and felt that inexplicable connection, write, "They visited me," in the comments. What I'm about to reveal might explain exactly what was happening in those precious moments. The loss of someone we love creates a void that nothing in this world seems capable of filling. The endless nights staring at the ceiling, the sudden waves of grief that crash over you when you least expect them, the physical ache in your chest that feels like your heart is literally breaking. In the midst of this deep ocean of grief, these dreams arrive like unexpected lifeboats, offering momentary solace, connection, and sometimes messages that seem to come from beyond our understanding. You wake up after dreaming of your mother's smile, your father's comforting voice, your child's laughter, or your partner's embrace, and you're left wondering, was this just my mind creating what I desperately wish for? Or was this something more? A true connection, a visitation, a message from beyond the veil? This question isn't new. Throughout human history, across all cultures and religions, people have wondered about the meaning of dreams where the deceased appear. Some dismiss them as merely wishful thinking, the brain's way of processing grief. Others believe they are genuine spiritual encounters. The uncertainty can be both comforting and unsettling, leaving us caught between hope and doubt. You might feel conflicted, wanting desperately to believe it was really them, yet fearing you're just clinging to false hope. You might have even kept these experiences to yourself, worried others would dismiss them as imagination or, worse, a sign that you're not moving on from your grief. But what if I told you that these dreams might be far more significant than most people realize? What if, according to the profound spiritual wisdom of Padre Pio, these aren't just dreams, but sacred moments of genuine connection? As Padre Pio once said, "Between heaven and earth, there exists a bridge that few people know how to cross." Sometimes, in the silence of the night, our loved ones reach out to us across this bridge, speaking to us in the language of dreams. These words hint at something extraordinary, that the boundary between our world and the next is not as impenetrable as we might think. That under certain conditions, in certain moments, communication is possible, and dreams provide the perfect canvas for this sacred exchange. Before I explain the different types of these special dreams and what they mean, let me tell you why Padre Pio's insights on this matter are so significant. This isn't just any spiritual perspective. It comes from someone who experienced the supernatural realm in ways few others have throughout history. Francesco Forgione, who would later be known as Padre Pio, was born in 1887 in a small Italian village. From his earliest years, he displayed extraordinary spiritual gifts. By the age of 5, he was already experiencing visions and communicating with his guardian angel. But what made Padre Pio truly remarkable was that as he grew older, these spiritual connections didn't diminish, they intensified. Most famous among his mystical experiences were the stigmata, the physical manifestation of Christ's wounds that appeared on his body and remained bleeding and painful for over 50 years. But beyond this visible sign, Padre Pio possessed abilities that gave him unique insight into the spiritual realm. He could read hearts, bilocate, appearing in two places at once, and as most relevant to our discussion today, he had an extraordinary ability to perceive the presence of souls, both living and deceased. Countless people reported that Padre Pio knew intimate details about their deceased loved ones, information he could not possibly have known through natural means. He often served as a messenger, delivering words of comfort or specific messages from those who had passed. And in many cases, these messages first came to the living through dreams, which Padre Pio would then confirm and elaborate upon. One of his lesser-known gifts was his profound understanding of dreams as a channel of communication between worlds. He taught that certain dreams are not random creations of our subconscious, but sacred encounters facilitated by God, moments when the veil between worlds grows thin, allowing souls to reach across and touch those they love. In the mystical tradition of the Church, Padre Pio wasn't alone in recognizing the spiritual significance of dreams. St. John Bosco received guidance through prophetic dreams throughout his life. St. Joseph, the foster father of Jesus, received divine messages through dreams. And throughout the Bible, from Jacob to Joseph to the Magi, dreams served as vehicles for spiritual communication. But Padre Pio's insights went further, offering specific understanding about dreams featuring our deceased loved ones. He provided wisdom about how to distinguish ordinary dreams from true spiritual encounters, how to interpret the messages contained within them, and most importantly, what these dreams reveal about the state of the souls who visit us. And now, I'm going to share with you the first and perhaps most profound type of dream encounter with the deceased, one that often occurs in the early days of grief and carries a message so powerful it can transform your entire understanding of death itself. This revelation might be exactly what your heart has been searching for. The first type of dream visitation Padre Pio identified is what spiritual directors call the farewell dream. These powerful encounters typically occur within days or weeks after a loved one's passing. They possess a distinctive quality that sets them apart from ordinary dreams, a luminous clarity that leaves an indelible impression on your soul. In these dreams, your loved one often appears radiant, healthy, and at peace. They may look younger than when they passed, restored to their prime, free from the illness or condition that may have marked their final days. Their presence carries a sense of lightness and serenity that feels palpably real. The colors in these dreams tend to be vivid, the emotions intense, and upon waking, many report a lingering sensation of having experienced something beyond an ordinary dream. As Padre Pio explained, these are not mere dreams, but moments of true connection, permitted by God as an act of mercy, both for the soul who has passed and for those left behind. They serve as a divine assurance that your loved one has safely completed their transition. The messages in farewell dreams are typically simple, yet profound. Your loved one might simply say, "I'm okay," or "Don't worry about me." They might express that they are no longer in pain, or that they've found peace. Sometimes they offer forgiveness or ask for forgiveness, creating closure that wasn't possible during their final days. In some cases, they don't speak at all. Their peaceful presence alone delivers the message. One woman described her farewell dream this way: "My husband appeared at the foot of our bed, looking young and healthy, the way he looked on our wedding day. There was a soft, golden light around him. He smiled and simply said, 'I'm fine now, better than fine. Please don't grieve too much.' I'm never really far. When I woke up, the room still felt warm with his presence, and for the first time since his passing, I felt a sense of peace rather than just pain." How can you recognize a true farewell dream? Padre Pio taught that these encounters carry distinctive spiritual markers. They bring a sense of peace rather than disturbance. They remain vivid in your memory long after other dreams fade, and most importantly, they leave a lingering sense of consolation that feels like a balm for your grief. The emotion you feel upon waking is not just sadness at their absence, but a mysterious comfort that transcends explanation. If you've experienced such a dream, understand that it was likely not just your subconscious processing grief, but an actual moment of connection, a divinely permitted farewell that offers assurance that your loved one has safely reached their destination. These dreams are sacred gifts, meant to begin the healing of your heart. The second powerful category of dream communication that Padre Pio identified is what I call warning dreams. Unlike farewell dreams, these can occur months or even years after a person's passing. Their distinct purpose is to provide guidance, protection, or urgent advice regarding decisions or dangers in your life. In these dreams, your loved one often appears focused and intent, sometimes even concerned. Their demeanor is not distressed, but purposeful. They may point to specific situations, people, or choices in your life. The settings of these dreams are frequently familiar places: your home, workplace, or locations significant to your current life circumstances. Warning dreams tend to be straightforward rather than symbolic. Your loved one might directly say, "Don't trust that person. Check the electrical wiring in the basement," or "Please go see a doctor soon." The message typically addresses situations you're currently facing or decisions you're contemplating. A particularly moving example comes from a mother who dreamed of her father 3 years after his passing. In her dream, her father pointed repeatedly to her young son and then to the boy's throat, saying urgently, "Listen to his breathing when he sleeps." Though her son had shown no obvious symptoms, this prompted her to monitor him at night, where she discovered he had severe sleep apnea, requiring immediate medical attention. The doctors later confirmed that the condition could have led to serious complications if left untreated. Padre Pio explained that these warning dreams reflect the continuing bond of love that transcends death. He said, "Those who have passed to eternal life do not cease to care for those they have left behind. God, in His mercy, sometimes allows them to guide and protect their loved ones from dangers they can perceive from their vantage point beyond this world." How can you distinguish a genuine warning dream from anxiety disguised as your loved one's voice? Padre Pio offered this guidance. True warning dreams contain information or insights you couldn't have known consciously. They come with a sense of importance that persists after waking, and they contain practical, specific guidance rather than vague fears. Most importantly, they are motivated by love and protection, not by fear or control. If you receive such a dream, Padre Pio advised to take it seriously, but also to pray for discernment. Consider the message thoughtfully, especially if it aligns with other intuitions or concerns you've had. These dreams are not meant to frighten, but to protect. They are extensions of the same love and care your loved one showed during their physical life. The third category, which brings profound comfort to many, are comfort and presence dreams. These gentle visitations often come during times of particular stress, sadness, or important life transitions. Unlike warning dreams, they don't contain specific messages or advice. Their purpose is simply to reassure you of your loved one's continuing presence and support. In these dreams, your loved one might simply sit with you in companionable silence. They might embrace you, walk alongside you, or engage in ordinary activities that you once shared, cooking together, fishing at a favorite spot, or sitting in a garden. The setting is often a place that held special meaning in your relationship, and there's typically a quality of peaceful ordinariness that paradoxically makes these dreams extraordinary. The emotions in these dreams are predominantly ones of peace, acceptance, and love. Many report waking with the lingering sensation of having been truly in their loved one's company, a feeling that goes beyond imagination or memory. Padre Pio described these encounters as moments when heaven gently touches earth. He explained that these aren't just psychological comfort, but genuine spiritual connections. In God's compassion, He sometimes allows souls to console those who mourn them, to be present in ways that transcend physical limitations. These are not just dreams, but brief reunions permitted by divine mercy. One elderly man shared how, on the night before his heart surgery, he dreamed of his wife who had passed 5 years earlier. She didn't say anything about the surgery. She just sat beside me on our old porch swing, holding my hand like she used to do on summer evenings. We watched the sunset together in comfortable silence. When I woke up, I felt her strength with me, and all my fear about the procedure was gone. These comfort dreams often come at pivotal moments, before important medical procedures, on significant anniversaries, during times of difficult decision-making, or when you're facing challenges that your loved one would have helped you navigate had they still been physically present. They serve as reminders that the bonds of love extend beyond the boundaries of physical existence. The fourth category of spiritual dream communication involves guidance dreams. These profound encounters typically occur when you face significant life decisions or spiritual crossroads. Unlike warning dreams that focus on protection from danger, guidance dreams offer wisdom, direction, and spiritual insight. In these dreams, your loved one might appear as a gentle teacher or guide. They often lead you through symbolic landscapes or show you meaningful images. Sometimes they speak in parables or share wisdom that seems to come from a place of expanded understanding. The settings of these dreams frequently feature symbols of journey or transition, paths, doorways, bridges, or stairways. One woman described dreaming of her grandmother shortly before making a major career decision. My grandmother took me to a garden with many different paths. She didn't tell me which path to take, but she gave me a compass and said, "The true north isn't success or security, but where your heart finds purpose." This completely reframed my decision-making process, helping me choose based on meaning rather than just practical considerations. Padre Pio explained that guidance dreams reflect the spiritual maturation and expanded perspective that souls experience after death. Those who have passed beyond the veil see with greater clarity the things that truly matter in the eternal scope of existence. Their guidance comes not from a place of control, but from a perspective of eternal values and deeper understanding. Unlike other dream types that might feel emotionally straightforward, guidance dreams often leave you contemplative, even philosophically challenged. The messages typically require reflection and spiritual discernment. They don't provide simple answers so much as they invite you to see your situation from a more expansive perspective. As we conclude our exploration of these different dream types, remember that they exist on a spectrum. Some dreams may contain elements of multiple categories. The common thread among all genuine spiritual dream encounters is that they leave you with a sense of having experienced something beyond ordinary dreaming, something that feels authentically connected to the essence of your loved one. Now, before I reveal the most profound truth about what these dreams tell us about the state of your loved ones on the other side, I want to share something special with you. For those of you who have been deeply moved by these revelations and wish to explore Padre Pio's spiritual wisdom more fully, I've created something special that goes beyond what we can cover in this video. The Spiritual Secrets of Saint Padre Pio is an ebook that contains powerful prayers, in-depth reflections based on his teachings, and practical spiritual guidance that has transformed countless lives. This comprehensive guide explores not only dream visitations, but also Padre Pio's extraordinary insights on guardian angels, spiritual protection, and establishing a profound connection with the divine. You'll discover specific prayers he recommended for those seeking contact with departed loved ones, along with guidance on creating the spiritual conditions that foster these sacred connections. The wisdom contained in this resource has brought comfort and spiritual breakthrough to thousands. Simply click the link pinned in the comments to access this treasure trove of spiritual knowledge that complements everything we're discussing today. Now, let's continue our exploration of these profound spiritual encounters and discover how to discern their authentic meaning in your life. How can you distinguish a genuine spiritual encounter from an ordinary dream? Padre Pio offered specific insights into this crucial question, providing spiritual markers that help us recognize authentic communications from beyond. The first sign is extraordinary clarity and vivid awareness. Unlike typical dreams that feel hazy or disjointed, genuine spiritual encounters possess a crystalline quality. Colors appear more vibrant, details more precise, and your consciousness during the dream feels heightened rather than clouded. Many describe feeling more awake in the dream than in waking life, a paradoxical but consistent description. The second marker is the lasting impression. While ordinary dreams fade quickly upon waking, authentic spiritual encounters remain etched in memory with remarkable detail, often for years or even decades. The emotional imprint they leave isn't fleeting, but transformative, sometimes marking a distinct before and after in your grief journey. The third indicator involves the sensory experience. Many report perceiving distinctive scents associated with their loved one, a particular cologne, the smell of pipe tobacco, or a signature perfume that seems to linger even after waking. Others describe feeling actual physical sensations, the warmth of an embrace, a kiss on the forehead, or the distinctive way their loved one would squeeze their hand. These sensory experiences transcend what we typically associate with dreams. The fourth sign relates to the emotional quality of the encounter. Authentic visitations bring a sense of peace that defies logical explanation, especially given the grief context. Even when the message involves warnings or guidance that might be challenging, there remains an underlying current of tranquility rather than disturbance. As Padre Pio explained, communications permitted by God always bring peace, even when they challenge us. Those that disturb our spiritual equilibrium come from elsewhere. The fifth marker involves information that couldn't have been known through normal means. Your loved one might mention events that occurred after their passing, reference conversations you've had with others in private, or demonstrate awareness of situations they couldn't possibly know through ordinary channels. These evidential communications provide some of the most compelling evidence of authentic contact. True spiritual communication always contains the fingerprints of divine love, Padre Pio taught. It respects free will, brings peace rather than confusion, and serves the genuine good of the soul. When examining your dream experiences, Padre Pio recommended a contemplative approach that combines spiritual intuition with thoughtful reflection. Start by recording the dream in writing as soon as possible after waking, capturing not just events, but emotions, sensations, and any unusual aspects of the experience. Note the setting, any objects of significance, exact words spoken, and especially the quality of your loved one's presence. Next, reflect on whether the message aligns with spiritual wisdom and authentic love. Genuine communications never encourage harm, never induce despair, and never contradict core spiritual truths about love, forgiveness, and divine mercy. They may challenge you to grow, but always in the direction of greater love and spiritual development. Another important consideration involves symbolic elements. Dreams often communicate through the language of symbols, personal symbols that held meaning in your relationship with the deceased, or universal archetypes that transcend individual experience. A father who loved sailing might appear in a boat. A mother who nurtured a garden might appear among flowers. These settings aren't random, but carry significance that rewards contemplation. Padre Pio cautioned against both extreme approaches, neither dismissing all dreams as meaningless psychological phenomena, nor interpreting every dream as divine communication. Discernment requires humility, patience, and spiritual maturity, recognizing that the boundary between worlds is sacred territory to be approached with reverence rather than casual curiosity. For those seeking to better understand their dream experiences, Padre Pio recommended several spiritual practices that create receptivity to authentic communication while providing protection from deception. The first practice is regular prayer, particularly before sleep. A simple, heartfelt conversation with God expressing openness to divine communication creates spiritual conditions conducive to authentic encounters. Padre Pio often suggested praying, "Lord, if it be your will, allow me to receive the comfort and guidance of my loved ones according to your divine wisdom." The second practice involves creating a serene spiritual environment. This includes both physical elements, reducing electronic stimulation before sleep, creating a peaceful bedroom atmosphere, and spiritual ones, such as forgiveness work, reconciliation, and releasing negative emotions that create static in our spiritual receptivity. The third practice is maintaining a dream journal, which develops your ability to distinguish different types of dreams and recognize patterns in spiritual communication over time. Record not just the content, but also the distinctive quality of different dream experiences, creating a personal reference that helps discern authentic encounters. Perhaps most importantly, Padre Pio emphasized community discernment. Sharing your experiences with a trusted spiritual advisor or guide provides objective perspective that helps separate wishful thinking from authentic spiritual experiences. The collective wisdom of spiritual tradition offers safeguards against self-deception while honoring genuine encounters. The language of heaven is often subtle, Padre Pio explained. It requires both the heart's intuition and the mind's careful reflection. When these work in harmony, the authentic voice becomes clear. These practices create the conditions for meaningful spiritual connection while maintaining the discernment necessary for authentic spiritual growth. They acknowledge both the reality of spiritual communication and the sacred responsibility to approach it with wisdom. Now we come to the most profound revelation about what these dreams tell us about the state of your loved ones on the other side. A truth that can transform your understanding of death itself and bring profound comfort to your grieving heart. What is the ultimate meaning behind these dream visitations? What do they reveal about the eternal state of your loved ones who have crossed the threshold of death? Here we arrive at Padre Pio's most profound teaching on this subject, a revelation that has brought immeasurable comfort to countless grieving hearts. According to Padre Pio's spiritual insights, these dreams reveal something extraordinary. Your loved ones are not merely at rest or in some distant, unreachable realm. They exist in a state of active love, conscious awareness, and continued connection with those they cherished in life. Death has not diminished their love for you. It has transformed and expanded it beyond the limitations of physical existence. The souls of the departed, Padre Pio taught, are more alive than we are. Freed from the constraints of physical limitation, they now experience love in its purest, most powerful form. Their awareness has expanded, not contracted. Their capacity to care has deepened, not diminished. When they are permitted to reach across the veil in dreams, they come not as shadowy remnants of who they once were, but as the fullest expression of who they truly are. This revelation stands in stark contrast to the popular conception of death as a state of unconscious sleep or distant removal. Instead, Padre Pio describes a continuity of consciousness and relationship, one transformed by divine grace, but unbroken by physical death. In his most direct teaching on this subject, Padre Pio stated, "When you dream of someone who has passed on and feel their presence with extraordinary clarity, understand this profound truth. That soul is revealing to you their current state of being. They are showing you that they continue to exist, to love, to care about your welfare. These are not mere echoes of memory, but moments of genuine connection permitted by divine mercy." This perspective aligns with the ancient Christian understanding of the communion of saints, the belief that the bond between souls transcends death, creating an unbroken spiritual family that spans both worlds. Your loved ones remain active participants in this communion, able to offer prayer, comfort, and even guidance under the proper spiritual conditions. Let me share with you two powerful testimonies that illustrate this transformative truth. Maria, a widow who lost her husband of 40 years to a sudden heart attack, experienced profound grief that seemed insurmountable. 3 months after his passing, she had a dream so vivid it defied conventional explanation. James appeared at the foot of our bed, looking younger and radiant with light. He showed me what looked like a tapestry with countless interconnected threads. He pointed to certain threads that joined us together and said, "See, death hasn't cut these. Nothing can." He then placed his hand over my heart and said, "I'm more present to you now than I could ever be before. My love isn't bound by time or space anymore." When I woke up, the crushing weight of grief had transformed. I still missed his physical presence desperately, but the agonizing fear that he was simply gone had vanished. I knew with certainty that our connection continued. The second testimony comes from Robert, who lost his teenage daughter in a tragic accident. Consumed by guilt and questions about her final moments, he found himself in a downward spiral of despair. 6 weeks after her passing, he experienced what he describes as more real than any waking moment of my life. His daughter appeared to him in a garden filled with light. "Dad, I need you to know something," she said. "And the last thing I felt wasn't fear, it was love. And that's all I feel now, pure love. No pain, no regret, just complete understanding and peace. You taught me how to love, and now I'm in the source of all love. Please don't spend your life in darkness mourning me. I'm not in darkness, I'm in light. And I can reach you better when you step out of the shadows." Robert describes waking from this dream, with tears streaming down his face, but they were different tears than before. For the first time, I felt like I could breathe again. The guilt and horror began to lift. I realized that the best way to honor her was to live in light, not darkness. That dream wasn't just comfort, it was liberation. These testimonies highlight a crucial aspect of Padre Pio's teaching. Authentic dream visitations don't just provide momentary comfort, they transform our relationship with death itself. They reveal that what we call death is not an ending, but a transition into a different mode of existence, one where love continues and even expands. This understanding opens a new perspective on mortality, not as the cessation of being, but as a transformation of being, not as the end of relationship, but as the transfiguration of relationship. Your loved ones haven't disappeared into nothingness or fallen into unconscious sleep. They have stepped into a fuller reality where their capacity to love has been liberated from physical constraints. What does this mean for you personally? It means that your loved ones remain present in ways more significant than memory alone. The love you shared hasn't ended. It has entered a new phase. The dreams we've discussed are glimpses into this continuing relationship, permitted by divine mercy to bring healing to your grieving heart. This doesn't mean we shouldn't grieve. Jesus himself wept at the tomb of Lazarus, even knowing he would rise. The physical separation is real and painful. We naturally yearn for their tangible presence, their voice, their touch, their physical companionship. Acknowledging this loss honestly is part of healthy grieving. Yet Padre Pio's teachings offer hope within that grief, the assurance that death transforms but does not destroy the bonds of authentic love. Your loved ones continue their journey in a realm where divine love illuminates everything, where understanding expands, and where the essential connection between souls remains unbroken. This perspective gives new meaning to your dream encounters. They aren't just psychological comfort or wishful thinking. They're sacred moments of genuine connection across the threshold between worlds. They reveal that your loved ones are not lost to you, merely transformed and waiting in a realm where time itself holds different meaning. As you reflect on your own dream experiences, I invite you to consider them in this new light. The peace they bring isn't illusion, but a glimpse of a deeper reality. The messages they contain aren't just echoes of memory, but authentic communications permitted by divine love. The sense of presence you feel isn't imagination, but a momentary thinning of the veil between worlds. If these teachings have resonated with you, I invite you to share your own experience in the comments. Have you received a dream visitation that brought unexpected peace? Has a loved one reached across the threshold to offer comfort, guidance, or reassurance? Your story might bring hope to someone else walking through the dark valley of grief. Remember the words of Padre Pio. What we call death is merely a threshold, not an ending. Love is the one force that transcends this threshold effortlessly. Trust the love that continues to reach for you across that threshold. It is as real now as it ever was. May this understanding bring peace to your heart and a new perspective on your continuing relationship with those who have preceded you into that realm of light. May you recognize the sacred gift of these dream encounters as bridges between worlds, not as wishful thinking, but as glimpses of an eternal reality where love never dies, but only grows more perfect in the divine light. And remember, when you next dream of your loved one with that extraordinary clarity that defies explanation, it isn't just your memory speaking. It's them reaching across that sacred threshold, assuring you of the unbreakable bond that connects you still. They are well, they are at peace, and they are closer than you think.